Welcome to Summer Seminar. I'm glad that you could join us today. My name is Samantha Stewart, and I taught 4-year-old kindergarten for 22 years here at Pensacola Christian Academy, and I've had the privilege for 3 years now to teach in K-5. I'm excited today to share with you one of my very favorite subjects, penmanship. So whether you are using the manuscript or the cursive program, I hope this session will be very helpful to you. So let's go ahead and get right on track. I think it's important that we start with the progression of learning, what we're going to do in our writing time. So I want to give a quick overview of that. The first thing is that with cursive program, you are going to teach the small letters first, or those lowercase letters first. In the spring, we will be teaching those capital letters. With manuscript, you're going to be teaching the capital and the lowercase letter on the same day. So the letter that you teach in phonics time is the letter that you will be doing in writing time. As cursive moves along during the school year, you will be teaching connections, connecting those blends and the words together, that stop and go that they're going to learn. And also be working on slanting. For manuscript, you will be working on spacing the letters so that they're not crowded on top of each other when they start to do those blends and those words. I think it's very important that because kindergarten lays the foundation for writing, and they're going to go ahead and build on that in first grade. So we have to do our best to give them the skills that they need during writing time. So let's talk about the tools needed in writing time. Whenever you're going to do something, you have to have all the things that you need to get started with, and the tools are exactly what we need. The first thing is you need a plan, and I love that the Abeka program gives us that plan. We don't have to think through it ourselves. We don't have to make it up from scratch. If we follow the curriculum for writing time, it will go very smoothly, and you will know exactly step by step what to do. And I'm so glad that I get to use the Abeka program. The next thing is you're going to need a sharpened pencil. Every student should have a sharpened pencil every time they go to write. Invest in an electric sharpener. I just finally got one after 20 some years, and it's a life changer. So get an electric sharpener, because then you can teach them to go, when their pencil breaks, to go and sharpen that pencil on their own. So you'll need that sharpened pencil, but make sure that their pencil does not have an eraser on it. We want them to do their best the very first time. And this is something you can tell the parents to get as well, that they could buy, because we want them to have that same good habits that they have here at school at home. So you're going to want to tell them, hey, get a pencil, or tell them where they can get one that does not have an eraser on it. And this will help the students not to have messy papers or not do their best the very first time. The next thing is the left and right hand chart. You're going to want to keep that up all year and show them which is their left hand and which is their right hand, and how they're going to hold their pencil. Now, you're going to be the key in making sure that they are holding it right and that they're keeping their paper slanted. But those two charts, the left and the right, will have their paper slanted so that they can see. Of course, in manuscript, we do not slant their paper for that. We just want them to have good habits, sitting up straight and tall and doing their best. Another tool that we will need is to have good samples. You're going to want the cursive or manuscript formation chart up, and this is a great chart to use. I use it every single day. Sometimes it will mention it in the curriculum page, but I like to use it every single day. We sing the alphabet song to get started, to warm them up, and I point to that chart, or I let somebody be the teacher and they get to point to it. I also use it as a great review tool. Sometimes I will point to a letter and ask somebody to be the teacher and describe it for the rest of the class. Sometimes I will just describe it without pointing at the letter, and then they can use my pointer and be the teacher and point to the right letter that I just described. So that you want to have that chart up all year long. The next is the cursive or the manuscript flashcards. Here is one that I have right here. This is going to be a great tool, and definitely keep these up all year as well. These are going to be what you're going to refer to all of writing time. I like to walk around with my card after I've been to the board, and I say, or describe how to make the letter, then when it's their turn, I like to walk around with this card and talk about it. And you're going to want to make sure that you have the same wording. So you could tape it to the back if you wanted to. That way you have it. Or just have it fun for them so that they're going to remember and you're going to remember how to say it the same way every single time. And we'll talk more about that later in this session. But keep these up all year and reference to them. We use it, let them trace with their finger around it. You could even laminate it and let them use dry erase markers with it. And it's a great tool to use when you're tutoring a child that might be struggling with a letter, because they can come to your desk and they can trace over it or use those markers as well. Then another thing is a great tool that I absolutely love that we get to use is something called a digital teaching aid. We call them DTAs, and it's going to allow students to see and hear as the teacher is describing the letters. It gives it that enlarged size of the letter, making the viewing a whole lot easier for the boys and girls. And what I typically do is I talk it through the first time. So as it's moving along on the screen, I start at the red dot, we slant up to the ceiling, and we watch it go up to the ceiling. And I try to go slow so I'm staying right with it so that they will go slow when they're doing it on their papers. And then I have them do it. I have them get their Peter pointer up, and we do it together and watch it one more time as it goes around. And then I say, give it a kiss, and they kiss their finger, and then they go and sit down. At this time, we will pause and look at a clip of using the DTAs in my classroom. We are going to learn a new letter today. It is going to be exciting. I like this letter. Sometimes this letter can be silly. It's a special letter. It's super fantastic. What are all of those words I just said start with? Damari, do you know? I think you know it. I see it in your face. Super silly. It is.
Capital?
Well, we're going to learn the little one today. We're going to learn the little one. So let's put our eyes right up here, and we're going to watch. We're going to watch with our eyes first, and then we're going to do it together. So let's watch first. We're going to start at the pink carpet. So let's look at that red dot. We're going to slant up to the dotted line. Oh, remember, we're just watching. We're going to retrace down and curve at the pink carpet. We're going to touch our pole, and we get to sail out to sea. We're going to curve back around on the pink carpet and sail out to sea with that big smile. Let me see your silly smiles. Ooh, I love it. Today, I need some silly helpers, some performers. The clowns are all gone except for one at our circus today, and I need some helpers to come to the board, so I'm going to watch for those hard workers today. Here we go. Peter pointer up, and we're going to do it again together. Got that Peter pointer, Charlie, ready? Let me see him. Good. Here we go. We're going to start on the
Red dot.
Red dot. We're going to slant up to the dotted line, go down and curve. We're going to make like a little bend, curve at that pink carpet, touch the pole, curve back around on that pink carpet, and end in a smile. The next tool that we need to have is the workbook pages. Students need to trace a lot when they are learning. Anything that we do, we have to do it over and over again, practice, 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 and that's what we're doing during writing time. We will also give them opportunity to write on their own, to write the letters or the words all by themselves, but they need to learn and master those letters first before we move on to blends and words. Be sure to send home these papers when they're done. Typically, the first side of the paper is done one day, and then the back side is done the next day. And so you'll want to send those papers home when they are completed, and so that the parents can see the progression of them, what they have been learning all year at each step. And so it's really fun for them, especially when they maybe have struggled to stay on those lines, and then all of a sudden they are staying right on those lines and working hard, make that a big deal all along the way. And then of course you want to collect some to put on the board to encourage the boys and girls to keep doing their best. The next thing you're going to need is your demonstration areas. And so on the board, you're going to have writing lines. these lines need to be big enough so that the boys and girls can see. So it can't be as small as on their paper. You have to make it bigger and then also write your letters bigger, but keeping in the right formation. Writing largely on the board, especially what I like to do is before I go to the writing lines, I like to show them off to the side of them something really big, and I over slant so they can see how we're going to slant this way or we're going to curve this way. And it's really helpful for them as well, even though you're using the DTAs or showing it on the flashcards. It's something that they really can see it really largely and be able to trace them when they get to their paper. My favorite thing to use, and this is my tip for you, something that I finally just learned how to use in this last couple years, is using chalk markers. Invest in those chalk markers. You know, every day you have to put up those writing lines using your chalk and your pink and your blue chalk. And then when you need to do the next side of the paper on the board, you have to erase it and do it again. Those chalk markers are going to save you time and as you prep for the next day, because you won't have to erase those lines for the week. You just use a tissue that has lotion in it and wipe off the old to put on the new. And you will really love that extra time that you can spend on something else, or, you know, get all done and be able to go home for the day because you didn't have to take the time to write those writing lines. So invest in those chalk markers. I love them. Lastly, you're going to want to have a designated area for them to write. We typically use the bottom half of our chalkboards for that time. You could use border boxes. We just take the border from the bulletin boards that we use and make little boxes for them to be able to write inside or trace inside. It's fun to draw pictures on your board. Maybe you'll draw some flowers, or maybe when you're teaching the letter A, you draw a big apple on the board, several of them, and let them write in it. Or draw some trees and have little apple notes that they could take home after they have traced that letter, and they can take it back to their seat and then take that apple home. A great thing to use also is maybe invest in some little mini chalkboards or dry erase boards. This is going to give the rest of the class something to do. You will keep their attention while you have some up on the board. Then the ones at their seat can also practice writing that letter. Even though you won't have one on there for them, you don't have to. Just tell them, make a dot. And then say, try to see if you can make this letter that we're tracing here on the board. It's a great tool to use. You can even use little paper notes, those little happy notes that we like to call them, that we send home for rewards. And you can use that too as well, and let them just use their pencil and write on it. Anything to keep them with you and also getting that extra practice time. This next clip, sit back and relax, and I hope you enjoy me and my students interact during this special time in writing. Great job. I told you I'm going to look for some helpers to come to the board today. So first, take out your chalkboards, your chalk, and your eraser. All right. Don't pick up your chalks yet. Let's see who can come. When I call your name, you're going to come with your chalk to come to the board. And we're going to make S on the board. So let me have Sawyer come. S is in his name. You may come all the way to the green one for me. Don't start yet, okay? Let's see, I would like for Sylvia to come. Bring your chalk to the board. You can come to the red one. How about Tiana come? Our next part is the 4 Ps of penmanship. You probably have heard that over and over again, but they are very important in writing time. The first one is, and you probably could say it with me, posture. We want them to have their feet on the floor. We want them to have their back on their back and their bottom on their bottom. And so sometimes we will just, make fun things to help them to remember. Now, I don't like peanut butter and jelly, but a lot of people do, and they use that. I like to use chocolate with the peanut butter inside, and I tell them that they are the peanut butter that I love, and that the desk and the chair is chocolate. And then so I go around and I see, who can I get a little nibble of my favorite peanut butter candy? And so I'll go around and tickle their little shoulders if they're sitting up straight and tall. It's just something fun to remind them of how to sit in their chair. We want them to make sure they're sitting up and not leaning over the table, because that's not going to have good posture time during writing. And just be careful, again, where you put those left-handers. with cursive, you are going to work on that slanting. So you're going to want to have those papers slanted. It's really helpful to have something down on the table for them to have a guide of where their paper is going to go. You could use stickers. You could use something that would just be able to stay on their desk, maybe little happy notes or something. My favorite thing to use is vinyl. If you have one of those machines that you can cut vinyl out, I have vinyl stars right now, and they are like glued. And so of course they want to play with them, but I always remind them, don't play with your stars, keep them there nicely, and you won't have to mess with them all year. You can just wipe and wash over them, and then you won't have to replacing like you would with stickers and things like that. But I've always used stickers, and now I'm started to use the vinyl, and it really, really does help. And just make sure that, again, that even though they have their paper slanted, they're not going to lean over the table. With manuscript, they don't slant their paper, just as a reminder. The next thing is that pencil grip. Show them how to hold their pencil. A lot of them want to just rest or hold it in the middle like this, and that is not good position with their pencil. We teach them how to put their thumb and their pointer finger on top, and those 3 fingers right here, they're going to touch their palm with it. But of course, we're kindergarten, we need to make it fun. So we talk about that the thumb is the daddy, the Peter pointer is the mommy, and then these are the babies. And we remind them, say, you sit in the back seat and you have to wear your seatbelt. You can't be crawling around your car for safety. So we're going to keep those babies tucked inside. And then every day when they're going to pick up their pencil or crayons for the first time that day, or any time during the day, they're going to do that. This is what I tell them. I say, Daddy says, and we taught them right at the beginning that Daddy says, buckle up. So I'll say, Daddy says, and they say, buckle up. Then Mommy says, and she says, I love you. And then the babies say, I will obey. I will keep that seatbelt on. But they just say, I will obey. And so then every time they pick up their pencil, I say, pencil check. This is going to be key. I say pencil check. They put their elbow on the table. Their other hand that does not have a pencil in it is their helper hand to hold their paper down. And then they are ready and looking at their pencil already. I love this because then you're going to tell them pencil rest. And so they will rest on the paper. But tell them they're not resting their pencil. They're just resting this chunky part of their hand down on their paper. And so then we practice pencil check. Their eyes are on their pencil. Pencil rest. Their eyes are on me. And that's going to be key because then every time you go to the board to write a letter and you tell them pencil rest, remind them, remember you're in pencil rest, where do your eyes go? And so that's going to get them right there with you. But practice that right in the beginning. Maybe that very first day you're going to start writing, do that pencil check, pencil rest, pencil check, pencil rest. And that's really going to help you throughout the year. Motivate them, keep them ready to want to do their best. And that's just something that you have to remind them all the time about, slanting their paper and holding that pencil. So have little happy notes for them. Have stickers for them when you're seeing, wow, look at Hunter. Hunter has his pencil already ready before I even said pencil check. So just motivate them and encourage them to have those good habits. Right now we're going to stop. And in this next clip, you will see the pencil check going on in the classroom. If you already have your basket put away, then take out your folder. Don't open it up yet. Don't reveal the surprise yet. Just like at the circus, you have to wait. The lights are going and you have to wait for the surprise to see who's going to come out and perform. All right, open up your folders. Take out your writing paper. And your pencil. Get out your pencil. Get out your paper. Get out your pencil. Do it fast. Don't be last. Get out your paper. Get out your pencil. Do it fast. Don't be last. Now, class, stand. Quickly, Midas. Right there. Yes, ma'am. You got it. Good job. Make sure you're standing right by your chair, and let's make sure our bodies are ready to do our very best. Hands on your head. Tell me about the houses. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. This is where our letters live. I love it. Go ahead and sit down. Put your bottom on your bottom, put your back on your back. Fold your hands and put them in your lap. Good. Now take out your pencil check. Make sure that's up. Remember when we're in pencil check, where is our elbow?
On the table.
On the table. What is this hand doing?
On the paper.
It is on the paper. Glue it there right now and make it stick. Good. Just like when the performers on the type wire go and they're walking, they can't fall off. They have to stay on that line while they are performing. So I'm going to watch to see who's going to be staying on the line today. The very first thing we're going to do is the warm-up. But let's make sure our mommies and daddies are holding on tight. Daddy says,
up.
Make sure that mommy's right there. What does mommy say?
I love you.
What do the babies say?
We will obey.
Good. Now, check your toes. I see some toes that are not under the table. I see some boys and girls that are slouching. We don't want to slouch. We have to sit up straight and tall. We're doing our best. Charlie, good. Thank you for fixing it. I love it. All right, let's go to the warm-up first. Remember, when we do our warm-up, we have to stay on the line. Eyes this way first. You're going to go up, retrace down, curve around, go back up. Retrace down, curve around, go back up. And you're going to continue to the end. We're going to do both of those warm-ups. Begin. Do that together. I'm going to come around and look to see who is staying on the line. Just like the high wire performers. Ooh, Micah is being a high wire performer. Eli is being a high wire performer. He is going so slow, staying on the line. I love how Midas is sitting up straight and tall doing his best work. Make sure you're doing both of those warm-ups. I like how Sawyer's helper hand is on his paper. That looks really good, Joey. I love it. Nice job, Damani. When you are done with the warm-up, I want you to pencil rest on one of those doggies. Make sure you don't let go of that helper hand. That helper hand is going to help you. Check your paper. Is it slanted on your dots? Check your dots. Make sure your paper is slanted. That's right. There you go. Now it's ready to work hard. This girl's slant looks amazing. So does this boy's. Blake, that looks awesome. I like that slant and how you're sitting up straight and tall. Some of you I know have dogs. Let's see. Tyson, what's your dog's name?
Kochak.
Kochak. Anna Sophia, do you have a dog?
Yes, his name is Rocky. He's brown.
And
he's
he's
a
brown?
chocolate lab.
Wow, and we have a brown doggy on our paper. That's amazing. I love it. All right, pencil rest on pick a doggy, whichever one you want. And eyes on the ceiling. Eyes on your paper. Eyes on me. Whoa, Peyton, you were so fast. Peyton, what color chalk should I use today? Orange, purple, blue, or green?
Orange.
Orange. Okay, I'm going to use my orange chalk. So your eyes are up here. Your helper hand is glued. You're still sitting up straight and tall. And eyes this way. On our first house, we always start at the first house. I'm going to start at the first red dot. I start here. I slant up to the dotted line. Retrace or curve around down to the pink carpet. Touch the pole, curve back around on the same line, and smile. Go to the first house, first red dot. Ooh, I like how this girl is stopping because we stop and think, just like a stop sign, just like when mommy's driving in the car. She has to stop at the stop sign. Begin. Slant up. Curve down to the pink carpet, touch the pole. Curve back around and smile. Good. Love that hard work. Remember, you're staying with the teacher, so stay with my words. Pencil rest on another doggy. We have two doggies on our paper. And eyes this way. Let's see who has their eyes on our elephant. I wonder if they're going to squirt you. Ooh, if you sit too close at the circus, you might get wet. I slant up to the dotted line. I go down to the pink carpet, curve, touch the pole. Curve back around and sail out to sea. Go to the second red dot. Begin. Slant up. Retrace down, curve around, touch the pole, curve back around, and sail out to sea. Very nice. Well, Marianne and Brianna, your eyes were on me the fastest. I love it. Brianna, what color? Blue today. Okay. Look right here. Oh, what are we going to do here?
Write our own.
You have to make your own. So wait first just a minute and let's watch Mrs. Stewart. Who thinks they can help me? Let's see. Boys, you tell me what to do. I start at the
Red dot.
I slant up to the
Dotted line.
I go down and curve at the
Pink carpet.
the what?
Pink carpet.
You got it. I touch the
Pole.
I curve back around on the pink carpet and I sail what?
Out to sea.
Wow, boys, that is a big smile for you. I love it. Go to the third red dot in the first house. Third red dot, begin. Slant up to the dotted line. Go down and curve at the pink carpet. Touch the pole. I like how Brianna is staying right with my words. She stopped when I stopped. Curve back around on the pink carpet and end in a smile. Marianne, what color?
Green.
Green. Okay, let's see. Ooh, Tiana, she's had her eyes on me every time, even before I got up here. Big smile for you. I started the, girls, tell me how to make this one. I started the
Red dot.
I slant up to the
Red dot. Dotted line.
Well, boys, maybe you need to help them. Boys, you tell me what to do. I started the
Red dot.
I slant up to the
Dotted line.
I go down and curve at the
Pink carpet.
I touch the
Pole.
I curve back around on the
Pink carpet.
and I sail.
Out to sea.
Wow, boys, give yourselves a pat on the back with your helper hand. Nice job, glue it back down. All right, go to the last red dot in the first house. Begin. Slant up to the dotted line. Go down and curve at the pink carpet. Touch the pole, curve back around, and sail out to sea. Aurelia's eyes are on me next. Aurelia, what color? Orange or blue or purple or?
Blue.
Okay, blue it is. Now we're in the second house. We're done with the first house. You did a great job. Now we're in the second house. I'm going to start at the red dot. I slant up to the dotted line. Oh, let's make sure we're in pencil rest. Let's make sure we're sitting up straight and tall, because that's how we're going to have good writing. Nice job. So I'm going to slant up to the dotted line, go down and curve at the pink carpet, touch the pole, curve back around on the pink carpet, and sail out to sea. Your turn. Go to the first red dot in the second house. Begin. Slant up to the dotted line. Good. Go down and curve at the pink carpet. Touch the pole. Beautiful. Make sure you're staying with my words. Nice job. Go down to the pink carpet, touch the pole, curve back around, and in a smile because we are sailing out to sea. Abigail, your eyes are right on me. Your helper hand is staying on your paper, and you are in pencil rest. I love that diligency. Tell me what color you'd like.
Purple.
Purple. All right. Eyes this way. Hey, Abigail, tell me what to do. I started the,
Red dot.
just Abigail's going to tell me. I slant up to the,
Dotted line.
I go down and curve at the,
Pink carpet.
I touch the,
Pole.
I curve back around on the,
Pink carpet.
and I sail out to,
Sea.
good job, I love it. All right, go to the second red dot. Let's see who's going to stay with my words. And eyes on your paper, begin. Start at the red dot. Slant up to the dotted line. Micah, can we sit up straight and tall so we can have some good writing? Let me help you. Here we go. Slant that paper. Start right there. Go down to the pink carpet. Curve around, touch the pole. Curve back around and end in a smile. Pencil rest on the puppy dot. Good. Let's see who beat me up here already with their eyes. Wow. Anna Sophia, what color? Quickly.
Orange.
Orange. Okay. Here we go. Anna Sophia, tell me.
Start at the red dot. Slide up to the dotted line. Go to the pink carpet. Touch the pole. Go to the pink carpet. And sail out to sea.
And sail out to sea. Excellent job. Go to the third red dot in the second house begin. Slant up. Curve around down and curve at the pink carpet. Touch the pole. Curve back around and sail out to sea. Joey, I love it. Such hard work today. Joey, what color?
Blue.
Blue. And that was so quick. Here we go. Let's see. How about my zebras? Part of our reading group. Zebras, tell me how to do it. I start at the
Red dot.
I slant up to the
Dotted line.
I go down to the
Pink carpet.
I curve and touch the
Pole.
Oh, and I love that. I'm looking around and I see everybody sitting up straight and tall. Whoa. And I have all your eyes. I am proud of you. I go down I curve back around on the
Pink carpet.
and I sail out to
sea.
Yes, good job, zebras. Big smile for you. Okay, go to the last red dot in the second house. Begin. Start at the red dot. Go up to the dotted line. Go down and curve at the pink carpet. Touch that pole, curve back around, and sail out to sea. Nice job. Lastly, you need to consider your pace. Make sure you are going slow enough so that they're not rushing through it, that they're staying right with you. So you are going to just slow down during writing time and take it step by step. Don't rush through it. Now I want to talk about terminology because this is going to be important during writing time. You're going to talk through that formation. I talked about how you want to make sure you're saying the same thing every single time. It really helps them. It gets inside their brain and helps them. So when they're doing seat work time in the spring, they're remembering themselves. They say, okay, this is a T. A T starts on the red dot. They're thinking that in their brain because you've said it over and over again the same way throughout the year. Again, put it on the back if you need that help there. But also remember that the curriculum is just a guide. So sometimes it has lots of words. And so you want to kind of condense it down for your students, but make it fun for them. With letter R, I say, start at the red dot, and we're going to pretend that we are on the elephant slide. So we have a slide here at Pensacola Christian Academy that looks like an elephant. So they've gone down that slide 100 times. So I say, start at the red dot, and we're going to go up the ladder. Then they sit down and they stick out their feet, and then they get to slide down and jump off with a smile, just like the elephant slide. And I say that every single time when I am doing writing time. They can say it with you. You can say, okay, it's your turn. You start at the red dot and tell me how to do it. And they can talk it through as they are writing it. Or you can pick a friend or a student to tell you how to describe it as you write it on the board. And it really comes handy when you can just say, I start at the, and they'll say red dot. I slant up to the ceiling. I loop toward the houses. So you know that they are actually being attentive and staying with you if they can tell you the answers to those questions. And then you want to talk about the location of the paper. You want to talk about them. And so on this slide, it says terminology, and it shows you a house. The house is important. You want to write that or draw that on the board. And we have the upstairs, the downstairs, and the basement. And so that is key. You want to remind them that this letter is going to go all the way to the upstairs, or that they get to get their flashlights out. And today we get to go down, down, down into the basement. It's so dark down there. And so they just love those extra fun things that keeps them with you, and they don't get bored or tired of doing writing because they want to stay with you. They want to go to that basement and things like that. So definitely work on that terminology. This we do every single day. And of course, we don't just talk about it, the upstairs, the downstairs, and the basement. We have to sing. It's kindergarten. And so we have a song that's the Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. This is where our letters live. And so at this time, let's go back to the circus and watch as my students do this fun song. Make sure you're standing right by your chair, and let's make sure our bodies are ready to do our very best. Hands on your head. Tell me about the houses. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. Upstairs, downstairs, in the basement. This is where our letters live. I love it. Go ahead and sit down. Put your bottom on your bottom, put your back on your back. Fold your hands and put them in your lap. Good. With writing, there are some basic printing strokes as well as cursive strokes. So let's talk about them. There's just a few for manuscript. For manuscript, we have sticks. Those are those straight up and down letters like D and B. You're going to have your slanted line. That would be in the letter W. You have your balls that you would have with your B, your D, your G, and then you also have your curves like the S. And you will want to stick with those all year whenever you're making letters, because then it's going to help them as they go to write that they remember every time that is a straight stick, or that is a slanted stick, or that is a curve, and they will be able to write it so much better. With cursive, you have your waves that they're going to use. There's going to be loops like letter E. You're going to have your mountains. I love the mountains because I say I start at the red dot. We're going to slant up to the dotted line, and we're going to go over the mountain down to the bottom to the pink carpet. Then we're going to retrace back up that mountain and down the mountain again for like the letter N. And so I always make it fun for them. We're going to put on our hat, we're going to put on our hiking boots, and we're going to get to climb the mountain. So just make it fun for them. And then they're ovals. They're going to go around and around and around like that, and that's really going to help them in their writing time. So make sure, again, with exactly like we do with manuscript, in cursive, you're going to want to say it the same way every single time. This last part of our session, our time together, let's talk about the 3 parts of the layout of the lesson. On your curriculum page, it's going to have different sections, and it, like I said, it's laid out for you, and that is great. We don't have to think about it, but I love that it gives us, room for our own creativity. So the first thing you'll have on your curriculum page is the warm-up. This is where you're going to sing your alphabet song. You're going to point to letters and have the children describe them. You're going to have them be the teacher and point to a letter, and somebody else can describe it. Any fun thing that you can do during review time, during that warm-up time. That's where you're also going to have fun with that upstairs, downstairs, and the basement as well. Then you have the second part is the instruction. This is where you will demonstrate, you will talk through the different techniques. So you'll use your flashcards or those DTAs and make sure you have your students' attention. Something fun you can do is, and I love to use this, is eyes on the ceiling, eyes on the floor, eyes on your paper, eyes on B. Or if they're not even on that paper yet, but you want them to look at your card or look up at the DTAs, you can do the same thing. Look at your friend. Look at your friend over here. Put your eyes on Mrs. Stewart. Give me a wink. And now put your eyes on the card. Things like that. Anything fun that you can come up with, but you want to make sure that you have their attention. And then again, you're going to call on students, this is all in the instruction time, to come to the board and write or trace letters on the board for practice and have them at the table working as well. And then we have our application. We're going to talk through each letter with them on the paper. Use colored chalk. That's going to get their attention too. So when you prep the day before, you're going to write your letters either in white chalk or yellow chalk, and then have color chalk for them. And then as you're doing each letter, you can say, I love the way that Haley had her eyes on me before I even got back up to the chalkboard. Haley, what color would you like me to do this next letter? And let them pick. And that will really get their attention. And so every time when they're done tracing at their paper, then they'll automatically get their eyes up there so fast because they're going to want to work hard to be able to pick a color. Walk through as they're writing. You were up at the board demonstrating it. Now you're going to walk around as they are doing their paper. And so have stickers. Use the smelly markers. My kids love those smelly markers. I put a big smiley face and it smells like strawberries or blueberries, and they just love them. And so they want to work hard for that yummy, smelly smile on their paper. Use stamps as you're walking around. It doesn't have to be completed for them to get a stamp or a sticker. Find one that they worked hard on and put a little sticker or stamp on there. All the while you're going to be talking through that demonstration of that letter as they're writing it though. Let's go back and to the circus and look one more time at writing time. All right, let's see who's going to beat me over to the elephants. What? Silent cheers for everybody. Nice job. All right, put that pencil back in pencil rest. Put that helper hand back down and make sure you're sitting up straight and tall with our feet in front of us and our tummies tucked to the table. Uh-oh. I don't see just a blend. I see a consonant and a
Vowel
and a
consonant.
Wow. What does that mean we're going to write today?
A word.
A word? Oh my stars. I think you've got this. Look right here. Let me see. I think I'm going to let Tyson, because when I walked over there, his letters looked like Mrs. Stewart's. Tyson, what color?
Blue.
Blue. So watch. We really got to stick together. We got to stick those letters together. I start at the red dot, go up to the dotted line, go down to the pink carpet, curve, touch the pole, curve back around. As we sail out to sea, we're going to go all the way up to the dotted line. Oh, I lost some eyes. Eyes on the ceiling. Eyes on your paper. Give me a wink. Give me a smile. Keep your eyes right here because I want you to do your best today, Micah. I want you to do your best. I retrace down to the pink carpet. I curve again. I'm not ending in my smile. I'm going to go up through the dotted line. Do I go all the way to the ceiling?
No.
No, I do not want to bump my head. I retrace down to the pink carpet and end in a smile. And I have to do two things. What am I going to do first? I'm going to make just a dot. And then if we're going to go to the circus, we have to be dressed up. So boys are going to wear their
Bow tie.
bow tie. So I'm going to go right across on that dotted line to make our bow tie. I wonder who could read this word for me. All eyes on my word. Midas, what is it?
Sit.
Sit. And you have been in your chair and you sit so nicely. I am proud of you. All right, go to the third. Thank you again for joining us today. I hope this session was helpful and that you enjoy doing writing just as much as I do.